Hello everyone and welcome to episode 91 of the TEW 2020 New Japan Pro Wrestling Series here on the channels that is the Best Super Juniors. And as far as we're going back to the traditional format for this Best Super Juniors, I know last year we had 4 blocks with 8 men in each block. This year though, felt like it was best to go back to the 2-block 10-man system. So there's not going to be as many people in it compared to last year, but I think it's going to be a lot more top quality. And plus, we're going to have some new faces in there as well, so that should be fun to see. As far as the entire card, it is all booked up as far as for not only the finals, but obviously throughout the entire tour. So that's going to be nice. As far as hopefully, as far as barring, an injury or something. But yeah, as far as the 2 blocks, this is what we're looking like. As far as for Block A, Alex Shelley. Barbaro Cabanero making his debut in the Best Super Junior. Same thing for Black Panther. As Black Panther, of course, Blue Panther Jr. looking to make a big splash there. I felt like we could use a little bit of lucha flavor as far as like an invitational guy instead of using some of the guys we have already, which, might have been a bit of a weird mistake because, we have so many talented guys and you're going to see some talented guys not even in it. Samurai del Sol is not going to be in it. John Silver is not in it. I know he's not a luchador, but just thinking about guys that didn't make the cut as far as from that perspective. But as far as we have as far as for this block specifically, Block A, this is kind of like the lucha block. You have a lot of guys that can work like a lucha style that we'll definitely be seeing. But we also have some, as far as some curveball selections thrown in there, like Burberry Baba from Designers of Perfection making his debut in the Best Super Juniors, as then we have El Hero, Del Airbender, Vikingo himself. I'm excited to see what he can do in this Best Super Juniors, obviously, but he's making his debut. Dante Martin, Francesco Akira, so we have the 2 Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions in the same block. So that should be fun to see. Jason Lee, Lee Moriarty, and Ryu Lee, of course, a veteran. We have Shelley, who's won this before. We have Ryu Lee, who's won this before. Jason Lee, I thought he won it one year that we had him, and now I'm thinking about it, maybe he didn't, but he has been a former Junior Heavyweight Champion. Now, Lee Moriarty's done well in these Best Super Juniors in the past, but obviously he's never won it, and has never won a block, but this could be his year, for sure. So we have, as far as thinking of former Junior Heavyweight Champions, 3 of them, with Shelley, Jason Lee, and Ryu Lee. Francesco Akira's had multiple title shots, but he's never been the guy. Same thing for Dante Martin as of late, which is crazy to think. Even in 2025, the man's like 23 years old. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy to think about. But I do love Block A. There's a lot of fun matches there. Obviously, the potential aspect of seeing El Hero Del Airbender against Dante Martin is pretty crazy. Or him and Ryu Lee, that'd be a pretty crazy match. And this is gonna be a fun block for sure, because a lot of guys stylistically just make sense against each other, so that should be fun. For Block B, Black Taurus, Drew Gulak, Fred Yehi, Fuminori Abe, of course, is Junior Heavyweight Champion, Hook, fuck yeah, Hook making in his debut in the Best Super Juniors, Kyle O'Reilly, Mascara Dorada, Rob Eagles, SB Kento, and Taiji Shimori. So this block is kind of more of the traditional kind of junior heavyweight style of what New Japan kind of had the early 90s, as far as guys that could work kind of more of a technical style, not really more of a high-flying style. Guys like Gulak and Yehi and Abe and Hook, and even Kyle O'Reilly, of course, and Taiji Shimori can kind of do a bit of everything, but a little bit more of the traditional sense. But there's a lot of, as far as former winners and former champions, Kyle O'Reilly, as far as Kyle O'Reilly, I believe won it last year, if I remember correctly. Fuminori Abe, of course. Actually, I think Abe won it one year too. Now I'm thinking about it. As far as he's been great. Obviously, he's been a bit of the flag barrier for the junior heavyweight scene right now. As far as I would say him and Ryu Lee, as far as ratings go. But SB Kento, a former junior heavyweight champion. Ishimori, a former junior heavyweight champion. There's a lot of talent in that block as well. I think it's a tough block to pick as far as who's going to win out of that block. I would say damn near everybody's got a good chance of winning that block just off of skill and talent alone. But yeah, I'm super excited to see both blocks, to see how they go about it. As far as, I'm just kind of curious to see, because, Yeah, I was about to say, Abe won it last year, so that's who it was. It was Abe won it last year. It was him and, that's right, it was him and O'Reilly in the finals. No, it wasn't. It was him and Riley in the finals. I was thinking it was like something along those lines. I thought O'Reilly was in the finals, but no, Ray Phoenix and Makabe, which is crazy because obviously these two guys aren't even in the tournament anymore, just because they have elevated out of the junior status. Same thing for Pac, obviously. Man who's won it before, and then obviously made it to the finals. Ishimori's won it twice. It's crazy to think how terrible that first Best Super Juniors went. As Ishimori's show in the finals with a 58, and now everything's been obviously either light green or light blue. I'm feeling good though. I'm feeling good about this Best Super Juniors because even though we have a lot of guys making their like debuts and a lot of guys that are looking to as far as make a big splash in this Best Super Juniors, we haven't had a repeat winner the entire time we've been booking. As far as 5 straight Best Super Juniors, 5 straight new winners. It's a fun little as far as thing for us as far as show you that not only the junior divisions are evolving, but it shows you that we're giving a lot of guys a lot of great opportunities throughout it as well. So that's been great to see. But yeah, I mean this is exactly what we want, for the Best Super Juniors to give these, especially these 20 men, an opportunity to showcase that they're some of the best juniors in the world. But man, this is going to be a fun Best Super Junior finals too. Co-main event, IWGP Tag Team Title matchup, United Rage, of course, of Katsuya Kitamura and the Great Okan taking on the Lucha Brothers, Ray Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. As far as they've only had one match against each other, those two teams, and United Rage won. It was a couple of years back during the Tag League, but kind of wild to think. As far as maybe they'll have that repeat success. We're also going to have a Never Openweight 6-man Tag Team Title matchup as Blast Off, the new champions, taking on House of Torture, which is going to be Jay White, Miro, and Brody King in that matchup. And then also a New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team Title matchup. It's not as Daniel Makabe, Jonathan Gresham take on the team of Jon Moxley and Shota Umino, the Shooter and Moxley. Battle out for the tag team New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team Championships. As I think we're all good to go there. We don't need to really run through the full card yet. It's a little too early for that. The main focus is on the juniors, so we'll keep with that, at least, especially for the month of May. I feel like that's a good call. There's so much, as far as room for a lot of guys to work with. But yeah, it's crazy to think. Gresham's not in it. Bushi's not in it. Hiato Jr. Fujita's not in it. Shooter's not in it. Neither is Alex Coughlin or Drew Parker or John Silver. So, I mean, as far as just from those, as far as, because it was, back then that was, we did the A and C block at the same day and then B and D on the same day. And now we can just kind of space it out where it's obviously just A and B. But the backstage instance, Milano Collection AT, Pentagon Psychology, Tips to Izod Collection NYC. It was between him and Burberry Bob as far as who's going to be representing the Designers of Perfection in the junior division, or in the Super Juniors, Best Super Juniors, but we went with Burberry Bob. I could have went with either the Velocities as well, but just felt like that was the best case scenario. So the opener, House of Torture, dynamic duo tandem, so it's Miro and Brody King against Konosuke Takeshita and Tetsuya Endo. As Brody King's going to beat Endo. I don't know why I put that match first, but fuck it. And as far as Alex Shelley and Ryu Lee, that was definitely going to be the main. Ryu Lee's going to win, so that's a big win for Ryu Lee right before the 30-minute mark. We'll have the junior tag champs be the co-main, and Francesco Kira's going to beat El Hero Del Airbender, but that should be a fun match to see how that plays out. Now we're going to have to kind of push everything up, but that's alright. But Barbaro Cavanero and Lee Moriarty, so this is a tactical masterclass matchup as Barbaro Cavanero is going to beat Lee Moriarty in his, well, it's not actually his Best Super Juniors debut, because he was in it during, like, the early 2010s, but this is just his debut in the save, I guess I should say there. His return to the Best Super Juniors. It's more like a Dante Martin and Black Panther. Dante Martin's going to beat him, and then Jason Lee, Burberry Baba, except for Steal the Show, here's Jason Lee will be beating Burberry Baba as, we'll bump this down. We need this to go here. Perfect. Alright, so yeah, we could probably have this go, like, as, like, the co-main, or maybe even have it main event, just to say fuck it, but just feel like it's better this way to have it open up the show. Just for a fun sense of, like, having a good opener. As far as Robert King's given too much, though, so we gotta change that. Give that to Marty Asami in the main. Good call. As, yeah, we'll probably be running Chubu. God, everything's, all used up. Yeah, obviously the, Road to Wrestling Dutaku is a pretty... Oh, we might just run the Amino Value Hall for the first night. That's fine by me. That'll work. That will work. Yeah, we're close to the 2,000 in the old Matsuyama City Auditorium, but still not there yet. But this should be a hell of a main event, though, with Shelly and Ryu Lee to start off the tour. 78, though, for the opener, as Miro and Brody King beating the Indo Konosuke to catch the team, as Gave a Torture from Brody King, pinning Tetsuya Indo there. Show off the strong start, got the crowd hotter, too. Fuck yeah. As all this goes over pretty well. Wow, I mean, Lee Moriarty killing it there in the Techno Masterclass matchup. But the La Cabanera from Barbero Cabanero getting the win in 24:04. An upset, for sure. But yeah, I mean, Lee Moriarty's the man. So he's obviously been here basically since day one, and he's been killing along the way. Jason Lee and Burberry Baba, the Hong Kong Tornado from Jason Lee, getting the win in 10 minutes. Yeah, 69, not the greatest of performances, but it is what it is. 67 here from Dante Martin and Black Panther. Black Panther did outperform him. Dante was off his game, but Springboard Cutter for him gets the win in 23 minutes. Probably gave him a little bit too much time, but that's fine by me as far as letting those guys go out there. 74 for the co-main event as Francesco Akira getting the win over El Hero Del Airbender. Pretty close matchup though, 66-64. The Akira Salt getting the win there, and yeah, man, that's a fun match. Fun co-main event. And the main event, the 77, Ryu Lee getting the win over Alex Shelley in 28-28. Big win there from Ryu Lee. As a yummy, hell of an opener. That's crazy. That was the best match on the card, though, the Technical Masterclass matchup. Did not expect that. But shout out Lee Moriarty for pulling off a great rating there. That's a good start. Good start right there. I mean, we'll gladly take that. Shows you that these guys are talented enough to be able to have two blocks. We'll see how Block B does it. You know, I was kind of more nervous about how Block A was going to do because there's a lot of, like, kind of new faces and kind of younger talent in that one. And they pulled off a pretty good opening day. We'll see what the second day looks like for the tournament. As for the first day for Block B, I'm expecting a banger. We'll see. Alright, we'll see how day 2 goes as a backstage incident. Tetsuya Naito passing on tips on psychology to Akuya Miyagi there. That's nice. Yeah, I mean, Block B, it's great to think, you know, like Ryu Lee, Drew Gulak, and Dante, and Clark Connors. Roddy, of course, was in it last year. Same thing for Yo. It gave a lot more guys opportunity, but I think it kind of diminished some of the matches in that same breath. So I'm kind of cool with what we're doing right now. As the non-tournament matchup is the United Empire Task Force Death. It's a 6-man, I believe. So that should be fun. But the main event, that's a good question. I think we're going to go with Black Taurus, Fuminori Abe. And how about that? Black Taurus beats Abe. Fucking championship curse strikes again. It's a fun main, though. As we'll probably go with it. I don't know what's going to be the Techno Masterclass. I don't know if it's going to be Hook and O'Reilly or Ishimori and Yehai. It's not going to be Ishimori and Fred Yehai. But this is, I think it's a pretty good co-main. Ishimori's going to beat him in 23 minutes. Then Gulak and Dorada. Oh, it's a Steel Strong matchup. Dorada's going to beat Gulak there. So SB Kinto, Robbie Eagles can go above that. As Robbie's going to win in 20 minutes. That makes sense. As far as, let's just bump this down. I'm assuming that might be a first time meeting. Let's take a look. I know Robbie Eagles was, he fought him last year, then had the match before. As far as when he was still a young lion, which I was a 38 there, obviously. But, I mean, mid-60s, that's not going to be too bad. Oh, hit the wrong goddamn thing. And then Ishimori and Yehai. Yeah, Yehai beat him 2 years ago in the Best Super Juniors. So they'll be 1-1. It's nice to kind of look at some of this because we kind of zoomed through the first day. First time meeting as far as one-on-one wise for those two in the main event. So hopefully no bad chemistry. Sometimes, you might get stuck with that. But yeah, Hook and O'Reilly will be the Technical Masterclass matchup as O'Reilly's going to beat Hook. It's a good call. Good call. The United Empire Task Force Death, the 6-man tag here. As it's the Death Triangle of Pac and Lucha Brothers against Alexander United Rage. Pac's going to beat Josh Alexander in 20 minutes. That should be a hell of a match, though. Probably could have that be the main event, but again, we want to put focus on the Best Super Juniors as especially with this day, with having the junior heavyweight champion lose on his first day of his block. Very, very big. As, yeah, it looks like it's going to be another 1,500 here. Yeah, because I wonder why we only ran as far as back in March. Is it perfect? Oh, that's because, yeah, those shows are not, yeah, they're kind of like lesser. That's why. Alright, that makes sense. So we should be able to have a pretty good show here, hopefully. You know, fingers crossed. At 80 for the opener, as Pac, Pentagon Jr., and Ray Phoenix of the Death Triangle, the Task Force Death Team, beat United Empire as Pac with the corkscrew shooting star press on Josh Alexander, getting the win. Yeah, I mean, Pentagon Jr., Great O'Connor was close, but other than that, obviously the Task Force Death Team, way much better than the other team. But got the show off to a strong start again, got the crowd hotter too. 68 for the technical masterclass matchup between O'Reilly and Hook. Weirdly enough, that's not really Hook's strength, which I thought was kind of funny, because I would definitely say that would probably be a strong set of his, especially with like his judo throws or whatnot, but I guess you can, I mean, I don't know, as far as, that's just me. I guess maybe from the technical standpoint, maybe it is just flat out submissions and whatnot, and even then, he still does like some pretty solid submissions too. I mean, he does the kata hajime for Christ's sakes, but yeah, I mean, that's a good match though. O'Reilly and Hook, that'd be a fun match to see in AEW, if they ever do it, but I'm sure they will, but would be pretty cool to see. As a 71 for the Dorada Gulak match, as Dorada getting the win with the corkscrew somersault senton bomb in 12:38. That's a good match, yeah. I mean, Gulak outperformed him, but that was a pretty solid match. Pretty solid. 68 for Robbie Eagles and SB Kento. War 4-5 from Robbie Eagles over SB Kento in 20 minutes. Both guys doing about the same, 58s and 60s. Could have went either way there. We could have had SB Kendo get an upset there, and it'd probably been alright. 74 for the co-main, as Ishimori and Yeihai have a bit of a banger here. 74 as a 22-minute matchup. 23 if you want to, cut out the 5 seconds. But the Bloody Cross from Ishimori getting the win. The veteran of this Best Super Juniors, as far as laying the law down the first day for his block. And a 76 for the main event, as Black Taurus beats Abe with the Infernal Suplex. Fuck yeah. Gets the win in 28-18. We love our boy Black Taurus. As far as, what a win. And what a main event. That went pretty well too. We're having some good luck here to start off the tour. Some good shows for, the Best Super Junior standards. Obviously not for kind of our standards. But we'll take it. Well, I'm glad these guys were able to have this opportunity. I could never praise the Best Super Juniors enough to give the junior guys a chance to showcase what they can do throughout a month. That it's always great to see. But yeah, with the first 2 block shows out of the way, we'll see how the rest of the tour plays out. It's on to day 3 we go. Alrighty, day 3, backstage incident. As Shibata passing on tips on microphone work to SB Kento. As for this main event, I believe it's either Riley and fucking Elliot Hotel Edmonder for sure. He's gonna beat him. Is Vikingo over Ryu Lee. Yeah, this match would rule. So I'm definitely cool with that. Sure, he's unhappy about it, but I think that's the right call. Francesco Akira and Barbaro Cavanero can beat the co-main though, and Cavanero gets another win. That's 2 straight wins for him as he beats Francesco Akira. I'm assuming Jason Lee and Alex Shelley will go here. Oh, it's a technical masterclass matchup. Alright, so Shelley is going to get the win over Jason Lee. So we'll have Black Panther and Lee Moriarty go before the co-main. Is he going to beat Black Panther? I think it's a good call for Lee Moriarty. He's had a hell of a Best Super Juniors just in that first matchup. I really was impressed with his performance in his technical masterclass matchup. But then Burberry Baba, Dante Martin. Dante's going to beat him. 2 straight wins for Dante Martin. First time meeting there. And I think that's a good call. I think that's a good call here. Giving him 20 minutes is interesting. So I'm assuming this is a Steal the Show matchup. Rosser and oh nope, it's not. Shota Umino. I just combined Shooter and his first name as Shota Umino is going to beat Jonathan Peck though in 10 minutes. So yeah, we need a Steal the Show matchup. So yeah, we'll go ahead and give that to Burberry Baba and Dante Martin. That seems to be the best case scenario. Hopefully it goes over well, because I think Dante's just barely considered recognizable, maybe a little bit more. Yes, stats are getting, and there's just crazy still, 23. Nuts. So young. As Steal the Show. There we go. As, yeah, this is, I think that's a good rating for it. Alright, as, yeah, Riley and Elio Del Bender, what a match. What a match. Alright, so, day 3 here, Best of Juniors, probably going to be, I'm about to say, is there 2,500? Yeah. Okay, oh, that's right, we have the, Yanaga Industrial Gymnasium. And just right close to a sellout, damn near. I think it's going to be a pretty good show. I mean, the main events, you know, with Riley in it, it should go over pretty well, but you never know. You never know. It might be bad chemistry. There's a 64, though, for the opener. Shota Umino and Moxley beating Rosser and Jonathan Peck. Nice little performance from the Rosser Peck team. You know, they're a good little undercard team. So, just nice to see Shota Umino get a win, though, nonetheless, with 939. Damn, 2,751 people. Was not what I expected. But actually, though, beating Jason Lee with the Border City stretch, pretty decent matchup there. 65-64. We'll take it. We'll take it. 67 for Burberry Bob and Dante Martin. 450 splash from Dante in 11:30 to get the 450 splash win. 2 straight wins, though, for Dante Martin. He's had a hell of a start. Lee Moriarty with the joint custody of a Black Panther, who's done pretty well so far, especially for a guy that, you know, has rarely been booked by us. You know, we booked him on a couple of Fantastica Manias, but that just kind of shows you that the importance of CMLL as far as being able to broadcast that through New Japan World. That's really helped those guys be over. So that's just awesome to see. Yeah, that's a good little match. That was 70 for the co-main as Barbaro Cabanero beating Francesco Akira with the Lock Cabanero. So another upset. Or no, actually, yeah, he outperforms Francesco Akira this time. So that's a good call. As Cabanero with a good performance. That was 70. We'll gladly take that. Good call, good win there from Barbaro Cabanero. It was a good match. See how the main event does? An 80 as Ryu Lee losing to El Hero del Airbender. What a win, though. As, man, you can imagine the crazy shit that he could do with Ryu Lee. Because Ryu Lee's a really good base. You know, he does that Orange Crush. Like, you could really have him counter it into like a Rana or some crazy shit. Like he could, I mean, you could do so much crazy shit with that man. And Ryu Lee, that'd be a. That's you know, the Hiromu Ryu Lee matches, you know, were insane, and were really really good. I could only imagine what something like those two could do. That would be like, you know, as far as. I know Ryu Lee and Psychosis isn't the greatest comparison, because Ryu Lee's, as far as he can do a little bit more stuff, like... Well, no, I mean, Psychosis is a pretty athletic guy, obviously. You gotta be athletic, you know, to be... Well, we'll go with that. This is kind of like the... Well, you could say. You could have a Rey Mysterio Jr. Psychosis type of match with these two guys. Because I think they could really work that style pretty well, as far as being able to... Each guy can kind of fit that role for what they can do. But yeah, I mean, that's a great main event. That's a good show. I mean, we're pretty blessed with having these good shows. Like, so far, so good. You know, as far as the first 3 days, everything's gone pretty much according to plan. And it's on to day 4. We go. Alrighty, day 4. As we'll see what we get for our main event here. I do love Abe and Hook. I think that's probably going to be a technical masterclass match if I had to guess. Ishimori and Dorada's a pretty good main. Oh, it's a Steal the Show match. Do they have bad chemistry or something? Because that should be given a lot more time, if I had to guess. But Ishimori's going to get the wins. That's 2 straight wins for him, though, nonetheless. Yeah, let me just click on Ishimori, because... I don't know, it doesn't say they have bad chemistry. Well, shit. Should probably give them more time. I guess we could have a main event with a Steal the Show match, but I just feel like that's a bad call. Slow build and regular matchup. Let's give him a little bit more. Yeah, 25 minutes is a good call. So yeah, that'll be the main. A co-main. I mean, Gulak and Black Taurus is a pretty fun co-main. Okay, so that's a the Steelers show matchup. So Black Taurus beating Drew Gulak. That's 2 straight wins. What a start for Black Taurus. Is this the co-main event that we should probably have? O'Reilly and Eagles. We'll take it, as O'Reilly's going to beat Robbie Eagles. First time meeting in that one, so we'll see how that goes. There we go. So I'm just going to go ahead and assume this might be the Technical Masterclass matchup, actually. Yeah, it is. It's Yehai and SB Kento. Yehai's going to beat SB in 20 minutes. He beat him last time that he ever faced off. He was still a young lion, so this is the first time they faced off since he's returned. That's pretty cool. And Abe and Hook will now obviously be a... Wow, giving them a lot of time. I mean, I do love Hook, but yeah, give him 23. So Abe's going to get the win there. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, we won't have it be the main. We'll have it be just before the co-main now. And it's a LIJ, though, of Shingo and Bushi taking on the Suzuki-gun team of Rex Steiner, Kira Tozawa, as Bushi's going to beat Tozawa in 10 minutes. Bit of a unique little matchup. Since we're doing SB Kento and Fred Yehai to open up as far as the blocks, just felt like it was a good idea to have that open up the show. As, yeah, let's go with, we just got to keep on finding. Alright, so we're pretty much all cut up there. So I think we're going to run Chubu here. As, yeah, where's the old Toyoshi General Gymnasium? That works for me. Let's run it. And for day 470 for the opener, Shingo and Bushi, better team there, obviously getting the win, as Bushi with the Ashi Road over Kira Tozawa. It's a goddamn shame what has happened to Tozawa in this save, but we have to keep going pushing. Yehai, though, beating SB Kento with the Koji Clutch in 20 minutes. He, outperforms him. It was a decent little matchup. Technical Masterclass matchup so far. Besides the Moriarty Cavanero one, they've all kind of been misses so far, unfortunately. Black Taurus, though, beating Drew Gulak with the Infernal Suplex in 12 minutes. 2 straight wins for him, and having one big win over the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, though, is already huge for him. Abe beating Hook with the Shining Wizard, as Abe getting the win in 22:43. Nice little performance there. Obviously, Abe doing a lot of the heavy lifting on that one. Kyle O'Reilly with ankle lock over Robbie Eagles in 25:34. Glad that didn't have any bad chemistry or anything, because we needed that to deliver in our main event. Talk about having some bad luck there, as Ishimori and Dorada, they must have had bad chemistry, and I just didn't see it for some reason. Man, that sucks. Maybe I only showed the positive chemistry, is what that was. Fuck. Because that had to have been a Steelers show matchup for some reason. Fuck. Yeah, 64, though. That's brutal. Yeah, that fucked everything all up. Well, damn. That sucks for day 4. Yeah, because we could have just had O'Reilly at Eagles main and this co-main, and yeah. Fuck. Well, shit. But, well, we had to have a kind of subpar show eventually. We'll take it with that. It's just as far as wrong thing went on last more than anything. Should have just stuck with my gut and be like, if that's going to be, 10, 12 minute matchup, we should stick to it, and we would have been fine, but it is what it is. On to day 5 we go. Alright, day 5. As we'll see what the main event for this night's going to be. So we got Shelly and Martin, Ryu Lee, and Francesco Kira. I think that's the safe bet to be the main event here. So Ryu Lee's going to beat him in 22 minutes. We're going to give that more time as well. 27, I think, is a good call. Cabanero and Black Panther, 2 luchadors. Alright, this is after Steelers showing Cabanero with his 3rd straight win. Let's change it up a little bit. Let's give that to Black Panther, actually. Why not? He needs a win. It'd be nice for him. Jason Lee and El Hero del Airbender. This might be a Technical Masterclass matchup, actually, weirdly enough. Okay, it's not. Alright, so Jason Lee's going to beat him, though, in 20 minutes. Yeah, I was about to say, obviously I don't think that's his strength, obviously, in Mr. Airbender, but it is what it is there. It's Dante Martin and Alex Shelley, though. 26-minute matchup. Dante Martin beating Alex Shelley. I was just about to say they've had one match. Shelley beat him, and that was 2 years ago. So that's kind of crazy to think they've only had one singles matchup. That's the thing with a lot of the junior guys. They don't really have a lot of singles matches against each other, because the only time we kind of book singles juniors matches is if it's on Strong or it's like Fantastica Mania, or obviously if it's a title match. Other than that, it's only happened at the Best Super Juniors. So yeah, I think that should be a co-main, and then the Masterclass matchup. Moriarty and Burberry Baba. That makes sense. Moriarty going to get the win. I like it. As Malachi Black and El Cucuy are going to beat up some young lions to open up the shows. El Cucuy is going to get the win in 10 minutes. Hopefully that's not too bad of a match to where it kind of kills the show. But it shouldn't, but you never know as far as with those types of things. Yeah, we'll run the Beibu Beacon Plaza here for this Day 5 show. 59, thank God. Malachi Black and El Cucuy getting the win as the Shooting Star press from El Cucuy in 10:29. Did we ever give him his spear that he's using in real life now? Don't know. We have to probably double check that. As Lee Moriarty getting the win in 22-22. The Tiger Driver 18. As Lee Moriarty's just the man in those Technical Masterclass matchups. Oh, they don't click. But it's a fun upset though for Black Panther getting the submission win with the El Nudo Lagerna as in 13:09. Shout out Black Panther. Killing it there. 72 from Jason Lee and El Hero Del Airbender as Airbender was off his game there. It's pretty close though. It was only a point difference. Of a Sunset Flip Powerbomb from Jason Lee getting the win in 20 minutes. The 72 too. That was nice. Nice little matchup. 67 from Dante Martin and Alex Shelley. It's weird. I just feel like Dante, I don't know what it is. I thought he would be able to rise to the occasion here today, and hasn't been really happening for him. He's been inconsistent, and he's been being held back a little bit, but that shouldn't really affect him too much here, but it is. And an 82 for the main event, though. What a match, as Riley getting the win over Francesco Kira in 26-32. It's a banger. Banger for sure there for Day 5. What a good main event. 78, not bad at all. Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of faith in Riley to be able to deliver those main events, and he answers the call for sure. As on to Day 6 we go. Alrighty, Day 6 as a backstage instance. Satoshi Kojima and Hayato Tamura as passing on microphone work is Satoshi Kojima to Hayato Tamura, and then Milano Collection AT passing on psychology tips to Aizawa Collection NYC. So as far as the main for this show, probably O'Reilly and Fumino Urabe. That's a pretty good call. It's going to be a time limit draw. 30 minutes. Needs more than 30 between those two technical master classes as Kyle O'Reilly and they've never had a singles matchup, wildly enough. So hopefully that goes over well. That's a bit scary to kind of think about, but we should be fine. Should be fine. There as the co-main. That's a good question. I mean, Ishimori and Black Taurus is a good call. Black Taurus getting another win. How about that? Having the tournament of his fucking life. Give him a little bit more time. Yeah, 25. Eagles and Yehai. That might be a Steal the Show matchup. Nope. Oh, it's not. There's Eagles are going to beat Yehai, though, in 23 minutes. So I'm assuming this is a Steal the Show matchup. Dorado and SB Kento. And SB Kento's going to beat Dorado. That's a huge win for the LIJ kid. As Hook and Drew Gulak. Technical Masterclass matchup as Drew Gulak's going to get the win there. That's no surprise. The Order of Destruction versus Miro and Jay White, though. That's a big-time match. Big tag matchup there as well. Hobbs going to be beating Miro and Jay White. So yeah, just Order of Destruction, House of Torture. Love those two teams as far as they haven't had a match since December, which the Order of Destruction won. As far as they had a pretty jam-packed 2024 as far as having the title matchup, and then the very next month having the tag league matchup. Both 82s, obviously. But yeah, I think this is a good call. Good call to have that be on this card. Oh, yeah, no, man. I actually don't mind this being a Kanto show. Yeah, we'll run Korakuen. Actually, let's run the Komozawa Gymnasium. Why not? We'll save Korakuen for another time. That is a hell of a match, though, to have as the main event. 78 for Hobbs, Tankman, Jay White, Miro, as Doomsday Plunge, Will Hobbs. 78s from the Order of Destruction, 75 from Miro, and 73 from Jay White. It's a good little matchup to open up the show. 69 from Hook and Drew Gulak. Again, Hook just kind of terrible in that Technical Masterclass setting, but Drew Gulak, though, does a good little job of trying to carry him, but he gets the one with the spine splitter in 2240. Love that name for that fucking move, too. That's a... and Drew Gulak's the man. As far as SB Kento and Mascara Dorada getting the win is SB Kento in 12-23 to the SB Shooter. Yeah, it just kind of sucks that SB Kento never really turned out the way I thought he would. A lot of that's kind of on the booking as well, because we kind of pushed him really, really fast. I thought that kind of helped him out, and it actually did, and I think it kind of backfired on him more than anything, because guys have now surpassed him. As Robbie Eagles and Fred Yehai. How about that? Robbie Eagles lost his game, and Yehai outperformed him. Should have got the win. Should have Fred Yehai, but Eagles gets the win nonetheless in 23 minutes. The Warp 4-5. It's the co-main event. Ishimori and Black Taurus. What a match. It's a 77 Infernal Suplex, 2450 rather. Ishimori did outperform him, but it's Black Taurus, man. This is a huge Best Super Juniors already for him. He's already off to 3 straight wins and an 81 for the main. They have pretty good chemistry too. That's perfect. Perfect. 1 point each for each man there. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be a while before we take a look at the standings. We probably won't look at them until like day 10 or 12. Just seems to be a good call to kind of wait, because sometimes we show it off a little too early to where it's kind of pointless because there's just so much time left. But it's nice to show it off around 10. I think that's the kind of the sweet spot for it. Because it's after 5, it just kind of makes sense. So yeah, we'll probably show it after day 10. But yeah, I mean, so far, I have no complaints of how this has gone. This has gone really, really well. Fingers fucking crossed here that everything goes well and nobody gets hurt. That's kind of the big thing with this Best Super Juniors, because if somebody goes down, it's going to be hard to kind of replace them. Alrighty, day 7, as for Backstage Incident, Shobo Takabu, as he was brought for versus court, accused of making a mess backstage, not cleaning it up, knowing anyone else. So the judge, Shinsuke Nakamura, found him guilty incidents to clean it up and then buy drinks after the show. Alrighty. So main event, probably Barbaro Cabanero and Ryu Lee, if I had to take a guess. Because that's a banger. And he's going to beat Ryu Lee. Well, Barbaro Cabanero right before the 30-minute mark, too. Major victory there. Shelley and Moriarty might be the masterclass matchup, if I had to guess. No, it's not, but that's still a banger. And that's a great co-main event. And Lee Moriarty's going to beat Alex Shelley. It's a great matchup for him. Moriarty actually beat him 2 years ago in the Best of Juniors. So the last time they ever had a singles match, too. So it's kind of wild to think it's been so long, but that should be a hell of a co-main, actually. So I'm trying to think what's going to be because this has got to be... This has got to be either the Steal the Show... no, this is the Steal the Show matchup. This is probably the Technical Masterclass matchup. We'll see. Yeah, it is. As Francesco Kier is going to beat Jason Lee. So, Barbary Baba and Black Panther is the just a normal 10-minute matchup there. As Black Panther is going to beat Barbary Baba in 10 minutes. As I think what we're going to do is we're going to have that follow the Masterclass match. And then the Steal the Show matchup will go after it. As, obviously, we got to... fucking buckle up for that one, as El Hero, Del Airbender, and Dante Martinez. Airbender will be getting the win. That's another match that I hope happens in real life. I'm sure it will. Come on, TK. Get the fucking stepping as far as get that match rocking and rolling. As Clark Connors and Alex Coughlin take on Mexa Blood here, as Samurai Del Sol and Flamita are going to take the loss, as Clark Connors will be beating Flamita. So now I think we can run a Cork and main event with that, Barbaro Cabanero, Riley. I like that a lot. I like Shelley and Moriarty too as the co-main. I think that's a good call. We'll see what we get. So 71 for the opener. Coughlin Connors doing a really good job. Samurai Del Sol with a good performance. Yeah, I mean, it sucks that he's not in it this year, but felt like Dorada could have used the push instead, but probably could have had him involved instead of maybe Hook, but it is what it is. As Clark Connors gets the win with the Roar of the Champion in 10-10. So 69 from Francesco Akira and Jason Lee. It's the Akira Assault from Francesco Akira over Jason Lee in 20 minutes. It's 69 there. Nice. So 65 for Burberry Baba and Black Panther. Black Panther, though, was doing a really good job in his first ever Best of Super Juniors, as he gets the win with the El Nudo Laguna again. And that's a 65. 72 from... Of course, they have pretty good chemistry. That's just the gods looking out for us, because that match would be fantastic. Actually, I don't know who would be a base in that match is kind of the problem, but... boy, because Airbender, I mean, listen... Obviously, I think most luchadors, they have... Even if you're kind of a small dude, like Ray, even though at his smallest, was still a pretty solid base. It's just, obviously, he's tiny, so you don't want him to base all the time. But he could do it, especially you kind of saw it with him and Sombra as far as I don't know why I'll forever call him Sombra, but fucking Andrade as he, as far as those two, obviously he's smaller than Andrade, but he was still a great base for him to be able to do a lot of the lucha shit. But yeah, it's a fun match though. Glad that went over really well. 82 for the co-main. Lee Moriarty, Alex Shelley. It's Lee Moriarty getting the win with the Tiger Driver. 18 and 26-12. What a win, though, for Lee Moriarty. He's had a fucking phenomenal Best Super Juniors, though, so far. Damn, main event, they don't click. Fuck. Riley, though, has a good performance, though. 71. Even with the bad chemistry. Yeah, just tough break there. A lot of Cavanera. The submission win in 29-11. Hell of a win, though, right before the 30-minute mark. It's a shame that the Cork and All main event didn't deliver because of the bad chemistry, but that co-main event delivered, though, for sure. So that's a good sign there. So we're 7 nights in, and so far, I would say I'm pretty pleased with how everything's going. Haven't had any bad injuries. We've had some fun upsets. We've had some good performances. So far, so good. As, on to day 8 we go. Alrighty, day 8. So this is backstage incidents. A lot of them. Wow, Okada Nakamura. What the fuck? Oh, it's a Wrestler's Court. Damn, Okada being an hour late to pick up his assigned travel partner. So the judge found him guilty and sentenced to pay for Strap Brothers meals for the next 3 shows. I love how Okada's personality is a mercenary. If there's anything that Kazuchika Okada is not, is that. Jesus, guys, there's a lot of collection. AT passing on tips on using psychology to his protege Isaac Collection NYC, and then same thing for Ishii as he's passing on microphone work to Tomoya Tom Ford. Yeah, I mean, you just can kind of see it there when we let other kind of not top-level talent get into this Best Super Juniors. I think it hurt the overall product itself, because now you're kind of seeing a much better Best Super Juniors than what we ran last year. Funny enough, but as far as the main event for this night, I mean, you can't go wrong with Fuminori Abe and Drew Gulak. It's going to be a banger, and Abe's going to get the win in 28 minutes. Hell yeah, as I don't mind hooking Ishimori as a co-main, but I just know it's not going to be the greatest. See a Black Taurus and SB Kid does. A Black Taurus now with 4 straight wins? That is nuts. He is going on a tear. O'Reilly and Fred Yeager is going to be a technical master class matchup. That makes sense, as O'Reilly getting the win in 20. Hook and Taiji Shimori. Alright, so steal the show matchup. Hook with the upset over Taiji Shimori. What the fuck? He doesn't even complain about it. Shout out Taiji Shimori for being the man. Robbie Eagles and Mascar Dorada. Dorada will be beating Robbie Eagles. I think that's a good call. I think he's going to outperform him. Damn, what a show, though. This is, what an upset for Hook, though, to beat Taiji Shimori like that. That's huge. And then Empire, though, and blast off the 6-man tag to open up the show. It's Dana Makabe with Corey Jarvis and Josh Alexander against Shun Skywalker and Konosuke Takeshita and Tetsuya Endo, as Makabe is going to beat Shun Skywalker in 20 minutes. We could have had this be a tactical masterclass matchup, actually. That's not a bad call, actually. Let's do that. Hold on. Yeah, let's have Kyle O'Reilly. Give him a little bit more time. Give him about 22 minutes. We'll bump that up. As we'll have that go here. That would be the co-main. Let this be the opener. Alright. We'll see how that goes. And I think we're going to go back to Chubu here, because we ran the Toyoshi Journal Gymnasium, but we did not run the Nagoya Civic, not the Civic Journal Gymnasium, the Congress Center here for day 8. Well, actually, yeah, we should probably not give them back-to-back days of Block B. Yeah, that makes sense to run, maybe. Trying to think where we haven't ran, though. Oh, we haven't ran Osaka yet, so that's fine. We'll run here. Walker Manufactural Gym. Alright, day 8 in the books. Let's run it. Oof. Hip flexor strain. That's tough for Makabe, because he obviously has that title matchup coming up on the finals. Hopefully he's going to be all healed up by that time, but man, that sucks. The one guy to get hurt in that matchup is hoping it wouldn't be him, and that's brutal. Makabe, though, was still the best guy in the match. So, shout out to Makabe, but he gets the one with the Makabe lock over Shun Skywalker. And Shun Skywalker caused the injury. Just great. 63 for the Steal the Show matchup. Ishimori having a better performance, but loses to Hook in 11:44. We got to give him his finishers. I don't know why we don't have Hook having his finishers. We got to change that ASAP. As Dorada beating Robbie Eagles with Springboard Dragon Rana. That rules. But he gets the win. 22:51. Pretty close match, though. 67-64. Not a bad match at all. I'll gladly take that. 67 for Black Taurus and SB Kento. The Infernal Suplex in 24 minutes. He gets the win, and he's just rolling. Is the Black Bull of the Dark Order. As Kyle O'Reilly and Fred Yehi having a banger. 74. Saw O'Reilly getting the win with the ankle lock in 21:41. It's a good match. Good co-main event. Glad we made that the co-main. And the main event, the 78. And it's Fuminori Abe with the Shining Wizard over Drew Gulak. We'll gladly take that. It's a good match. Good fucking show, actually. That went really well. Not bad at all for day 8. Yeah, well, going into day 9 now. We'll run day 10, take a look at the standings to see where everybody's at, and it'll be full steam ahead. We're almost, we're basically a little over the halfway point, as far as we'll only have 8 more days left after we take a look at all the standings, and yeah, I mean, it's going to be, I think it's going to be a hell of a tournament, though. So far, Black Taurus hasn't lost yet, so he's been rolling. He's definitely the man to watch out for Block B. And, as far as for Block A, so many different things going on with Block A. There's been some good runs. There's been a lot of upsets. Really, and just from what I've seen, Moriarty's been really performing really well, but I don't know if he's got the wins yet. Obviously, Ryu Lee's someone to watch out for, and you can't, overlook a lot of these newer guys, too. And, Cavanero's done really well for himself, and Vikingo's done really well for himself, so it's been pretty good. Yeah, on to day 9 we go. Alrighty, as they got us in Budokan for this show. That's wild, as, oh my god, so many backstage incidents. As Ashino was brought for Wrestler's Court, accused of being an hour late to pick up his assigned travel partners. The judge, Shinsuke Nakamura, found no guilty and sentenced him to pay for travel partners' meals for the next 3 shows. Kojima passing on microphone work to Tamura. Milano Collection AT passing on psychology tips to Izak Collection NYC. Shingo passing on psychology tips to Masahiro Hara, and then Pac wants to put over Francesco Kira, which that'd be fucking awesome. Alright, so as far as what our main event will be, I mean, Moriarty and El Hilo del Airbender's a fun match to have as a main. I'm assuming it's going to be a Steal the Show matchup, though, if I had to guess. Oh, no, it's a regular matchup, and he's going to win. Will Airbender over Lee Moriarty. That's awesome. Ryu Lee, Jason Lee. Have that be the co-main, as Ryu Lee's going to beat Jason Lee. Lee versus Lee. Dante Martin and Francesco Kira can go here, as Francesco Kira are going to get the win. 23 minutes. The Steal the Show match, I'm assuming, will be Black Panther and Alex Shelley. It will be, and Alex Shelley's going to beat him in 13 minutes. That's a nice win for Shelley. And Barbaro Cavanero is going to beat Burberry Baba, no surprise there, in 18 minutes. And then open up the show. Hayato Jr. Fujita and Darius Martin are taking on the Yo and Yoshihashi team, or the Yo-Hashi team, if I like to call them. Yo's going to beat Darius Martin in 10 minutes. So pretty straightforward stuff. We're kind of rolling the dice a little bit with that main event, but I think it still should deliver pretty well. So let's see where we're at here. Yeah, I think this is best case scenario. Run the Sendai Sun Plaza. Alright. Let's run day 9. 64 for the opener. 60s across the board from Darius Martin and Hayato Jr. Fujita. 62 from Yoshihashi. And then 53 from Yo. Probably the wrong guy won, but it is what it is. We'll take it, for what it is. Just a decent little opener. It's a 62 for the Tactical Masterclass matchup. It's Burberry Baba. His first his first Best Super Juniors has not went well at all. La Cavanera from Barbaro Cavanero getting the win in 17:52. 70 from Shelley and Black Panther. 1 point difference between the two. Alex Shelley getting the win with the Border City stretch in 12:45. There's another 70 for Francesco Akira and Dante Martin as the Akira Assault from Dante Martin in 23:27. That's a nice win for Koji Kamaya. 74 for Ryu Lee and Jason Lee, as Ryu Lee getting the win in 21:30. as Riley Lee with a 74, 63 for Jason Lee. It's a decent little matchup. And 71 for our main event, as Lee Moriarty, 1 point difference between him and El Hero del Airbender, as Airbender getting the win in 24:59 for the 6:30. I love that he's gone so well in his first Best Super Juniors. It's exactly what we needed. That's a fun match, though. That's a fun match to have last, because I think just stylistically they are so polar opposites of each other that it works out really, really well. Alright, so now on to probably the last show of May, into day 10 here of the Best Super Juniors, and hopefully, fingers fucking crossed, we have a really good show to take a look at the standings afterwards, because this Best Super Juniors went surprisingly well. As far as compared to some of the other ones that we've had in the past, so especially with the talent that we have, it's a lot of new faces. There's a lot of guys that have been brought in from the beginning of the series or from the early stages of the series, and they're still around and they're thriving. Well, maybe not thriving, but they're doing really well for themselves. And obviously, when you're this far into the Save 2 and you've built your roster up, usually you're going to be able to pull off a pretty good tour. I mean, nothing's going to be worse than that first one. That first one is one to forget about for sure. But yeah, on to day 10 we go. Alrighty, day 10. As a backstage incident, Satoshi Kojima, Heiharu Tamura. It's Kojima passing on microphone work to Heiharu Tamura. So as far as the main event for this day, probably, Abe and Ishimori. I think that's the right call. I think it's a safe bet. Abe's going to beat him. Poor Ishimori. I feel like he's had a pretty down Best Super Juniors, but that's a big main event, though, to have. So, co-main event. I love O'Reilly and Gulak. I'm assuming it's the Masterclass match, though. Yep. As O'Reilly's going to beat him, though, in 23 minutes, I'm fine with that. Dorada and Yehai, as that's a Steel Show matchup. Yehai's going to beat him. They've never had a match before. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine by me. Hook and SB Kento probably should have been the Steel Show matchup, but that's alright. SB Kento, though, is going to beat Hook. Yeah, I mean, they've never had a match before either. Both guys could use a win, so I guess we'll just stick with that. Yeah, that match is probably going to be relatively bad compared to some of the other ones on this card, but we'll see. And Black Taurus keeps it going. My God. He beats Robbie Eagles. Jesus. Murphy, he's on a tear. An absolute tear. Co-main event right there. Alright. So then of course, the opener, Dragon's Den, Designers of Perfection, building up to the Bryan Sonata matchup. That's happening at Dominion, as Bryan's going to beat Drew London there. It should be a pretty good little opener. All things considered, we'll have Jado be the agent. Because fuck it. And so yeah, we're just going to make sure we pick a venue too. I kind of forgot about that. As a day 2, we ran Hokuto. Yeah, we've kind of ran everywhere now, so I think we're just going to go around the loop again to Mino Value Hall for day 10 here. Let's see what we get. 74 for the opener. Yeah, not bad at all. Sonata and Tamura, the best guys of the match. Bryan Danielson with a 68. Pains my soul to see that. But Bryan Danielson, though, gets the win in 1937 over Drew London. But yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good match. Designers of Perfection, I mean, they had a pretty good thing going there, but it just, Tamura and Danielson's just a little too much for him. But if Taichi was just a little bit better, they definitely could have outperformed the Dragon's Den team. 68 for O'Reilly and Drew Gulak. Wow, Drew Gulak outperformed him. O'Reilly gets the Brainbuster win, though, at 22:39. It's a good win, though, for Kyle O'Reilly. 67 for Dorada and Fred Yehai, as Yehai gets the Koji Clutch win in 11:57. So we'll see what this is what the, 64, that actually went a lot better than expected. Hook did outperform him, but SB Shooter from SB Kento getting the win in 19:55. 68 for Black Taurus in Robbie Eagles. Listen, he's outperforming guys, so it's not that big of a deal, but definitely the big upset over Abe was huge, and him winning here again is just crazy, though. I mean, 10 points, 5 straight wins, he's been on a tear, and Abe beating Ishimori with the figure 4 leg lock, getting the submission win with a 76 as well in the main event. So yeah, I mean, opener delivered, main event delivered. Nothing more you can really ask for. We'll take a look at the standings, see where everybody's at. Feeling good, man. Feeling pretty good. Hopefully everything goes well. Hopefully, as far as these last 8 days, hopefully no injuries, nothing like that. Just kind of the big thing here is we we really need, just as far as the finals, as far as that final show, we need it to deliver more than anything. Because we've kind of had a bit of a sloppy past couple of last big shows. We haven't had that big show that we usually have. It's been a while since we've had that, at least. As let's see what pay raise for show team. All right. So yeah, the tournament standings as of 10 days for both teams, as far as they're 5 nights in. Block A, Cavanero is leading with 8, but you see the list of people behind him. 5 people on the tail from Barbaro Cavanero. He's lost to Black Panther. Other than that, a win over, as far as Francesco Akira is huge. A win over Moriarty and Ryu Lee is huge, since they're both behind him. But, as far as depending on what happens with him and Dante Martin, that could be huge. Same thing for him and Airbender. As far as that could definitely swing how Block A looks. But it's crazy to think. So many people are right behind him. It's a really, really close race. Still with 4 matches left. That's really awesome to see. Obviously, Black Taurus with 10 points hasn't lost yet, but Kyle O'Reilly hasn't lost yet either. He had the draw, of course, with Abe, but other than that, hasn't lost yet. So that's going to be massive. That's going to be the match to look out for as far as who's going to win Block B. It's probably going to come down to those two. Plus, Abe's right behind him, though. Obviously, he's lost to Black Taurus, and he has the draw. If Taurus kind of falls apart, he's got a good chance to kind of have a huge comeback and take the lead. Because, obviously him and O'Reilly, they have the draw, so you'd have to have a tiebreaker match to determine who's going to go on to the finals there. But that's massive, as far as that's massive. See, Hook with this 1 win is tough to see him and Gulak only having 2 points, but, this is a pretty even block, as far as, sure, he could have beat SB Kento, Hook, this last matchup, especially with him outperforming him, but, so far, Block A has just been so competitive, and Block B, it's been seeing the Black Taurus show as far as he's been dominant so far, and so is O'Reilly. But, it comes down to those 2 men as far as whenever they have that matchup. That should be the main event for Block B for sure. As on to Day 11 we go. Alrighty, Day 11. As a backstage incident, Ishii passing on my phone work to Tomoya downboard. As for the main event, Ryu Lee, Dante Martin, works for me. Sounds like a good match to me, as Ryu Lee's going to beat him in 25 minutes. Come main event. Let's go with Francesco Akira and Lee Moriarty. Why not? As Francesco Akira beating Lee Moriarty. Yeah, that's fine. Cool with that. Could go either way there. I think it's going to be relatively close. We'll see. El Hero del Airbender against Black Panther. And Black Panther's going to beat him in 12 minutes. Actually, I like that match a lot. We'll have that be right there. Barbaro Cavanero and Jason Lee. It's a regular matchup. Jason Lee's going to beat Barbaro Cavanero. That's a big win for Jason Lee. That really shakes things up. And then Shelley beating Burberry Baba, of course, in the opener, of the first of the 5 tournament matches. As for the opener itself, United Empire versus Task Force Death, Gresham will be beating Shota Umino. So obviously, this is a big-ass match, though. This could be a main event, if we're being honest. Yeah, because that's going to be a really good match. But we're just going to let it be. As, let's go back to Day 2. There we go. As, we'll be running the, as far as the Kuroshia City Tourism International Exchange Center. That works for me here in Hokkaido. As, that's 81 for the opener. That's gonna be pretty good. Pretty good. Moxley with a 72. Makabe and Zack Sabre Jr. all in the 80s. Gresham with a 75. Yeah, it's some good stuff. 630 from Gresham over Shota Umino. We'll take it as Shelley and Burberry Baba. Boy, Burberry Baba is, I feel like he's just, even being in this tournament, I think it should do him wonders, but it's not, obviously, because he's lost so much now. I think it's actually done a negative effect more than anything, but he loses here the underarm snap STO in 1747 as Shelley with the win. As a 68 for Barbaro Cavanero and Jason Lee is the Hong Kong Tornado for Jason Lee in 22:10. Obviously a point difference there. Could have went either way, but giving it to Jason Lee. As Airbender and Black Panther have a 71. That's actually a good little matchup. As Black Panther getting the submission win over Airbender with the El Nudo La Garena. As, yeah, I mean, Black Panther slightly gets outperformed, but, I mean, it's just a couple of points difference again. Could go either way. Fun upset, though. Fun upset, as got the crowd buzzing, too. That's great. As Francisco Akira and Lee Moriarty, as, yeah, Moriarty outperforms him, but hell of a match, though. For the co-main in 80, we'll gladly take that, especially for a tour show like this. Our main event, it's another 80. It's Riley and Dante Martin. They have great chemistry. Fun main event. We'll definitely, that's probably the best tour, as a tour match of the Best Super Juniors this tour. As far as the 280s in the main and co-main, the opener delivers, obviously. And yeah, I mean, just nothing more you can really say there for day 11. All around, a banger. As next time, we'll probably look at the standings. Will probably day 14, maybe. Yeah, I think after every, because it'll be after day 14, then we'll look at 16, and then obviously, you know, we'll see what it's looking like after the end of the end of the tour. As yeah, I mean, so far, no one's gotten injured. As I'm still stunned by that. It's the tail end, though. Everyone's been working really hard. It would be a shame if somebody gets hurt now, but hopefully, fingers crossed, that doesn't happen. Alrighty, day 12. It's a backstage incident. Ryu Lee and Shinsuke Nakamura. So Ryu Lee was brought before us court accused of failing to pick up a share of the tab on the shared rental car. As the judge, Shinsuke Nakamura, Jesus Christ, is found him guilty and sentenced him to pay the full cost of reimburse his travel partners. Alright, as for the main, I mean, probably Dorada and O'Reilly, the way things are going. I think it's a pretty solid main event. O'Reilly's going to win, so still keeping up the undefeated streak here. As Yehai and Black Taurus, as Black Taurus beats Yehai, he keeps his win streak going. We'll go with, I'm assuming this is the Technical Masterclass matchup. Abe and SB Kento. It's not. Abe's going to get the win over SB Kento. There, so now, alright, so this is a steal of show. Eagles and Hook. Yep, Hook's gonna beat Robbie Eagles. What a huge upset there for Hook. And Ishimori and Drew Gulak. Ishimori's gonna beat Gulak. You know, this could have went either way, to be honest. Drew beat him last year. Felt like it was a nice little 50-50 there to give him his win here. And the opener, Flamita and Samurai del Sol against Show and Garcia. Obviously, you know, having Dorada and O'Reilly. Just makes sense to have another Dragon's Den Mexa Blood matchup. As Garcia is going to beat Flamita. Let's change it up there. Let's have Samurai del Sol going to win. Let's have him beat Garcia. That way, because, you know, obviously Dorada's losing O'Reilly, so it just kind of makes sense to go 50-50 there. Hopefully it goes over well. We'll see. As far as, yeah, for day 11 here. Or, yeah, day 12, rather, excuse me, as, let's see what we got as far as, yeah, the Yonaga Industrial Gym. It shall be here for day 12. That's right, a 69 for the opener. Nice. As, Samurai del Sol and Garcia doing pretty well there, 73s and 60s. Yeah, Samurai del Sol with the Del Sol driver, not bad at all. 68 for Gulak and Ishimori. Gulak did outperform him. Bloody Cross from Ishimori, though, in 20 minutes. Not a bad little matchup. 65 for Robbie Eagles and Hook. What an upset for Hook again. Need to add his finishers as Hook. That's crazy. He only got a 46. I mean, just brutal. Brutal. It's not, but at least they have pretty good chemistry. That's went pretty well this as far as for our junior division. There's a lot of guys that have good to great chemistry with each other. Abe destroying SB Kento here as the figure 4 leg lock for Abe, getting the win in 22-41. So 72 for Yehai and Black Taurus. Listen, he's outperforming people, so I feel like it's justified, these wins. But it's a crazy run nonetheless, as he gets the win in 22 minutes with the Inferno Suplex in the main event. Kyle O'Reilly with the ankle lock over Dorada. I mean, decent main event. It was hard to top the last match, or the last match, but the last show. And, I mean, day 11 is probably going to be the best show of the entire tour, so that was just a tough break there. But, I mean, so far, you know, with all the Block B shows, we know what it comes down to. But Block A, it's still wide open. So we'll be looking to see how they end their tour out, and we'll see if Black Taurus can keep up this winning streak going, if O'Reilly can keep his going. And it's going to be pretty exciting finish for both blocks here. Alrighty, day 13, backstage incident here. So we'll see. Oh, it's Milan Collection AT passing on Psychology to Izod Collection NYC. Ryu Lee Moriarty. That is for sure the main event. The two best guys as far as performance-wise in the block. And Moriarty beats Ryu Lee. That is huge. We're going to give them a little bit more time here. As far as Ryu Lee and Lee Moriarty, Ryu Lee's beating them every time in singles competition, and both being the best Super Juniors every couple of years. It's funny, they've faced off against each other, but this time Moriarty's going to beat him, and I think that's a well-deserved win right there. Barbera Cabanero and Alex Shelley's not a... Oh, technical master class matchup. Alright, so Shelley's going to lose to Barbera Cabanero. That's... yeah, that's fine. I think we'll leave that there. Black Panther and Francesco Akira. This is probably the co-main, honestly. As Francesco Akira will be getting the win in 23 minutes. We'll bump that up just one more minute. Gives it a little bit more time. So now it comes down to what's the technical masterclass, or what's the steal the show match, rather, excuse me. Is it Dante Martin and Jason Lee? It is not. Dante Martin will be beating Jason Lee 25 minutes, dude, giving them a lot of time. So that would mean, obviously, Barbary Baba and Mr. Airbender will be getting the steal the show matchup, which they will, and Airbender will be beating Barbary Baba. Then the opener, Brody and Evil taking on Nakamura and Kushida, as Kushida's going to beat Evil. Obviously, we're building up, at Dominion. New Japan Strong Openweight Champion Brody Lee taking on Never Openweight Champion Shinsuke Nakamura. So as far as, we want to have, I think that's going to be the co-main. Yeah, and then we'll swap that. Alright, that's a pretty solid lineup. Obviously, the main event's going to be as far as the show to remember here. This is looking like a pretty big show on paper. As far as with that main event, we'll see though. A lot of things could still happen. Let's run this Nippon Yashi Arena. We'll be close to a sellout. So fuck it. Day 13. Let's run it. 74 for the opener, as Nakamura and Kushida beating the Brody Lee Evil team. Supernova Press from Kushida over Evil in 20 minutes. Not a bad match. Not a bad match at all. 69 for Cabanero and Alex Shelley. Could have went either way. Went with Barbero Cabanero, though, with the La Cabanera. I would have probably felt good about Shelley getting this win, though, but thought about it. Thought about switching it, but just stuck with what we had. It's Airbender beating Barbary Baba with a 6:30 senton at 11:35. Best guy, better guy gets the win. And it's pretty straightforward stuff, but he's been, for his first ever Best Super Juniors, he's done really, really well. Jason Lee and Dante Martin, both with 61s, a 67 overall for the matchup, as Dante Martin with a 450 over Jason Lee. Decent little matchup there. 74 for Black Panther and Francesco Akira. Two guys with great chemistry. That went really, really well. As Francesco Akira, though, is the one with the Akira Salt. It's a great co-main. Great for the main event, as Ryu Lee losing to Lee Moriarty. Very, very close, though, in the performance-wise, 78-74. Gladly take that. That was a great performance, though, from both guys. That's a fun main event, and that's a really good show for day 13. Really, really good stuff. Especially for that main and co-main to deliver like that. And obviously the opener doing its thing. So on to day 14. It's hard to believe. We just 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 left. It's, we're coming down the wire. And it all comes down for Block B. If Black Taurus, Kyle O'Reilly can keep it going, we'll take a look and see how Block A is doing after we run day 14 here. Alright, day 14. So backstage incident here is one of the newer Young Lions, Barbarosa's core. We haven't given the picture yet, as he is accused of forgetting to shake another worker's hand when entering the locker room as the judge. Shinsuke Nakamura found him guilty and sentenced to buy drinks for him after the show. Boy, oh boy. As, for this main event, I like O'Reilly and Ishimori, as O'Reilly's going to win. He beats Taiji Ishimori. Let's give them a little bit more time. 26 minutes sounds good to me. Of course, Black Taurus, Mascot Dorada. How about that? Black Taurus's run ends here with Dorada, so that has now elevated Kyle O'Reilly to first with that win. Abe over Eagles potentially. Nope, Rob Eagles with the win. So that has shaken up the standings for sure. Rob Eagles and Fumino Abe, they've never had a match against each other. And that is massive, though, to have Robbie Eagles and Abe. As far as that potentially might cost Abe the block. So that is very, very tough to see drop down like that. Drew Gulak, rather, and SB Kento. Is SB Kento going to beat Drew Gulak? I don't know how I feel about this. Gulak beat him last year. It was a 44 then. Oof. Should be a little bit better here. Gulak's a little unhappy about it, but should be fine. Now, the two Suzuki-gun members as Yehai and Hook. I think we're going to have it be a steal of the show matchup, and I think we're going to have Yehai win instead of Hook. Because Hook's just not really, it's not hitting, right now. He's still got a ways to go, but, he's getting there. He's getting there, slowly but surely. But yeah, Abe and Eagles, that might be a fun main to have instead. Ishimori and Torres. Yeah, to have Torres go before that, and yeah. To kind of really showcase that, wow, O'Reilly's now leading in the block. But Dragon's Den and House of Torture, 6-man tag. Tamura will be beating Joe Doring. Why is that O'Reilly and not Show is the question. There we go. Actually, let's change it. Let's have Doring beat Show. Poor Show gets added to the match, and now he's losing. It's the way it goes. It's the way it goes. Did it add? Okay, it did. I was about to say, what the fuck's going on? We should be good to go, though. Yeah, just Gulak's a little unhappy, but other than that, we're good to go. As far as for Block A, it's a two-way tie right now between Cavanero and Francesco Chiara, but you see here, Airbender, Dante Martin, Lee Moriarty, and Ryu Lee are all right behind him with 8. Crazy. Black Panther and Alex Shelley with 6, as is Jason Lee. It's safe to say that unless something absolutely insane happens, don't think they're going to make it to the finals, but, man, what a great tournament that has turned out to be for Block A, though. So many different variables. It's probably going to come down to somebody having a tiebreaker win over someone. As far as for Francesco Chiara, right now he's losing because obviously he has the tiebreaker loss to Cavanero. But and for, Cavanero, he kind of lucked out as far as losing to guys that don't have that many wins, but he's still got Airbender and Dante Martin left, so a lot can still happen. And same thing for Francesco Chiara, he still has Alex Shelley, and, maybe Burberry Baba can get his first win. You never know. Never know. That's going to be huge, though, for, as far as for Block B, though. This is a big night. Big night here, as I think, are we back to Kanto now? Oh, no, we're going to Kyushu. The Beibu Beacon Plaza, sellout here. Day 14, let's run it. 73 for the opener. It's House of Torture beating the Dragon's Den. As, Show, worst guy in the match, makes sense he loses there to Joe Doring. Joe Doring with a 61 is very sad to see. Very, very sad. 68 for Gulak and SB Kento. Yeah, SB, better guy, was Drew Gulak, so an upset. Relatively close, but still an upset nonetheless with a 68. 60 for Suzuki-gun's match, as Yehai beating Hook with Koji Clutch at 13-23. 71 for Dorada and Black Taurus. What a win. First of all, Massacre Dorada, he's the man, obviously, Grand Metal League. He rules, as he gets the win with the Springboard Dragon Rana. And with a good performance, too, with a 70. That's awesome to see. Abe losing to Robbie Eagles to the Warp 4-5 at 26:08. What an upset. And what a win, though, for as far as for Robbie Eagles. That is massive. 77 for O'Reilly and Ishimori. Great to have that beat last, since they have great chemistry. And O'Reilly with the Brainbuster. Over Taiji Ishimori was a point difference. We probably could have had Ishimori win, and it wouldn't have been too crazy, but went with Kyle. And he's got the lead now. Crazy to think. And not only has the lead, has a good size lead now because of Abe and Black Taurus both losing. Yeah, it comes down to these final 4 shows, though. everything's looking pretty good to have a phenomenal ending as far as especially Block A. I mean, Block A is going to be nuts to see how that gets deciphered. And now it's O'Reilly's block to lose. As far as he's got just 2 more matches, if he hangs on, he's going on to the finals. And that would be huge. A guy that's been in the junior division for, obviously had the first run, then obviously went to NXT, and then obviously AEW, but actually, well, not really with AEW. Obviously, that happened in real life, but still, it's a good match, and or it should be a hell of an ending. As on to day 15 we go. Alrighty, day 15. Let's see how it goes. Backstage incident, as a couple of them, as Ishii passing on microphone work to Tomoya Tom Ford, and then Kojima passing on microphone work to Tamura. Main event. I mean, it's got to be Dante Martin and Barbara Cavanero the way things... Well, Riley and Black Panther is probably the better match. So it might be the best case scenario to just have that be the main, to have Riley get a win. But I think this should be the co-main, and Dante Martin and Cavanero. Dante beats him, so now Francesco Kiro has the lead. Is he going to beat Burberry Baba? He will, so he's got the lead going into the final night. Now with Riley winning, that's huge. Let's see who else is going to win. Shelley beats El Hero del Airbender. That is massive. So that's a massive 2 points, and that probably takes out Airbender from being able to win it all. As far as he's out of the race now. Jason Lee, Lee Moriarty, Technical Masterclass matchup. I think we're going to change that to Lee Moriarty. I just feel like he's going to outperform Jason Lee, and I think that's a good call there. And then Tamura and Joe against Izod Collection, NYC and Tomoya Tom Ford. That's obviously, this is just to give Dragon's Den a nice little win back. As, that's, solid little stuff. Obviously, nothing too crazy there for the opener. But as far as now, for Block A, so Cavanero stays at 10. Kira jumps up to 12. Moriarty and Ryu Lee both jump up to 10. And also Alex Shelley jumps up to 8. And Dante Martin jumps up to 10 as well. So really, with Francesco Kira, if he loses to Shelley, boy, that's going to be interesting. Because mostly what has happened is... with Barbara Cavanero now losing to Dante Martin, that's opened up a chance for a lot of different guys to get in. But really, with Francesco Kira, he beat kind of the right guy, except for Ryu Lee. If Ryu Lee wins his next 2 matches, Francesco Kira, well, he's already won his. So if he wins his next match, if he beats Burberry Baba, which he probably will, and Francesco Kira loses to Alex Shelley, Riley's going to the finals. So that would be pretty huge. Pretty huge if that is the case. That would be quite a comeback. As far as, to not only have Barbara Cavanero lose, and also El Hero del Airbender, if something crazy happens there, I just don't think it's going to happen. But you never know, as far as maybe potentially Cavanero wins and it ends up being a tiebreaker. It's going to be pretty nuts, though, I think, that final day for Block A. But we should be good to go as far as we just got to pick. I'm going to save Kanto. Actually, I'm going to save those for the last days. So we'll jump back to Wakayama Prefectural Gym here for day 15. Let's run it. 64. For the opener, not the greatest of openers, especially compared to what we've had, but Tamura gets a nice performance, at least. As he gets the one with, Show gets the one with the Dragon Sleeper over Izod Collection NYC. 75 for Jason Lee Moriarty. I'm glad we made that change. Joint custody for Lee Moriarty in 1938. 63 for Francesco Kira and Burberry Baba. Wow, they did about the same. Could have been a believable upset there for Baba, I guess. Could have got his first win, but falls up short nonetheless. And then Airbender losing to Alex Shelley, even though he outperformed him. That's a fun match, though. Obviously, stylistically, very different, but, I think Shelley obviously can kind of work with anybody, because he's the man, but I think that could work out really well. That'd be a fun match. It's a good little 70. 70 again for Dante Martin and Barbara Cavanero. Dante Martin with a springboard cutter in 26:05. God, if he were to win it all, just imagine that, 23 years old. God, he'd have to be one of the youngest guys to ever win it. Because I mean Osprey was pretty young when he won it, but I don't know though. That's super young. At 81 though for the main event for Ryu Lee and Black Panthers. Ryu Lee gets the win at 26-27. What a win for Ryu Lee! That's an 81 for the main event. Fucking awesome match. What a show. I mean that Block A's really been fantastic to see. It is just stacked with talent. And now we'll see how Block B, how they're going to go into their final shows. This is all down to Kyle O'Reilly. It's his block to lose. If he can win it here, he basically secures his place in the finals. But it's going to be crazy to see who's going to face him if that's the case. If he does lose, though, boy, that opens it right back up to potentially Black Taurus or somebody else, as far as maybe even Abe can come along and get a big win. We'll see. Alrighty, day 16. Let's see what we got here. And of course, it's Black Taurus and Kyle O'Reilly on this night. This is a massive main event. A lot on the line here, and O'Reilly's going to win. Think this will pretty much seal it, as far as to get that lead to 15. As far as I just don't think it's going to be enough, no matter what happens. So O'Reilly, potentially might go unbeaten in this block. Very, very big to see that. Yehai and Abe can be the co-main. Abe's going to win in 26 minutes. Junior heavyweight champion at least is going to get some double-digit points out of that. Hook and Dorada might be steal the show, so we'll go ahead. Yeah, Hook's not going to win. I love that we've been trying to give Hook some wins, but, Dorada's, he's the man. We need to give him some wins. There's just no really way around it. Ishimori, though, is going to beat SB Kendo in the Tactical Masterclass matchup. I don't mind that at all. And Eagles and Gulak. Let's give it to True Gulak here. I think that'd be a fun win. Why not? Rob Eagles, after he has the big upset. Oh, did they not have good chemistry? Is that why? Must be it. Oh, and we had him win last year. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, let me just double check. Oh, no, we had it on show all, huh? But yeah, Gulak, awful chemistry. Okay, so that's good to know on that front. Then Okada and Yo against Claudio and Tozawa, as Yo will be losing to Tozawa in 20 minutes there. As, I think, obviously we're having Okada and Claudio on the Dominion show. It's a big match. Big match there, though, with Taurus and O'Reilly. As a 71 for Okada and Yo against Tozawa and Claudio. Although, the right team wins. German suplex win for Tozawa over Yo in 20 minutes. 58 for Gulak and Robbie Eagles. One of the worst matches yet because of the bad chemistry. But the Warp 4-5 from Robbie Eagles getting the win. Drew Gulak did outperform him. 65 for SB Kento and Taiji Shimori. Not a great performance here from both guys. I think everyone's kind of feeling the effects of this tour right now. 66 for Hook and Dorada. Corkscrew Somersault Senton Bomb from Dorada in 12:27. 77 from Yehai and Abe, as Abe's still rolling right along, though he's a savage. Figure 4 leg lock win from Abe over Yehai, and our main event, both guys with 70s. Could have went either way, but we went with Kyle O'Reilly beating Black Taurus. Yeah, we could have had a unique kind of finals if we had Black Taurus win here, because it still would have not been over yet. Probably should have done that instead, but it is what it is. O'Reilly's now chasing perfection is kind of the big story there into day 18. But yeah, on to the final two tour shows, 17 and 18. This is going to be a hell of a final for Block A, though. They're going to have quite the last show. It's going to be nuts to really dictate who's going to make it out of that to take on Kyle O'Reilly. Alrighty, the final day for Block A. The backstage incidents, Jonathan Peck, Shinsuke Nakamura. Of course, the judge here is Jonathan Peck was brought for Russell's court, accused of failing to pick up a share of the tab of the shared rental cars. The judge, Shinsuke Nakamura, found him guilty and sentenced to pay the full cost and reimburse his travel partners. Then Milano Collection AT passing on psychology to Izod Collection NYC. So as far as the main event here, boy, Shelly and Francesco Akira is a good call, but I think that's got to be it. And Shelly's going to beat him. in 20 minutes. So this has now opened up Block A. Massive. Massive, massive. I want to give that a little bit more time potentially, but we're going to keep it at 20. So now Barbaro Cavanero and El Hero del Airbender. So Cavanero's going to beat him. So now he will jump up to 12, and because he, as far as, because Francesco Kira had beaten him, it really doesn't matter, weirdly enough. So that's kind of funny as far as how that... Well, actually, no, we didn't know. Barbaro Cavanero won, rather. Excuse me. And so, yeah, Barbaro Cavanero, he's going to the finals. So that it will be Cavanero versus Kyle O'Reilly in the finals at this rate, unless Dante Martin makes it. So we have to look for that. As far as Dante Martin, Lee Moriarty beats him. Well, I think that just about seals it. So that will be, just double check one more time, because yeah, he's lost to Jason Lee, so that doesn't matter. He lost to Black Panther, that doesn't matter either. It just came down to Dante Martin. Dante Martin was a win away from making it to the finals, but unreal. You're going to have, potentially 4 people finish with 12. And, you know, that's pretty awesome. That went really, really well, actually. I loved that block. It was one of my favorite ones for sure. I don't know why I only had this be 18 minutes. So we need to steal the show match probably more than anything. Maybe Jason Lee and Black Panther is. Hold on, let me check. Oh, it is. Yeah, Jason Lee's going to get the win over Black Panther. Oh, yeah, that's fine. I'm cool with that. I don't know why I didn't add it. There we go, I'm going to say. Yeah, so that's the masterclass. You know, it's weird because it's a technical masterclass. Obviously, this is not Vikingo Strength. So we'll probably actually just make that a regular match. I think that would make more sense, too. Give him a little bit more time as well. Yeah, give them more time here. Let's go 23 minutes. So Dante Martin and Lee Moriarty can be right where it's at. And yeah, so this will be the masterclass matchup, but that's fine. That is fine by me. I think this will be the best for everybody involved. My God, what a semifinals, though. Unreal. Unreal. And Velocities against Samurai Del Sol and Flamita. And it's the Velocities. We'll get the win as Flamita's going to lose to Jude London. I mean, yeah, so, you know, having Barbaro Cavanero make it to the finals is pretty fun. Pretty fun to see that. As for the venue, yeah, Kanto's a good call. Yeah, we'll run the Komozawa Gymnasium here for day 17. And then we'll run Corkin for day 18. It's 72 for Samurai Del Sol and Flamita. As Drew London, though, getting the win over Flamita. Yeah, everybody did really well, but Flamita, you know, sadly enough. But a decent little matchup. 72, we'll take it. 75 for Ryu Lee and Burberry Baba. Ryu Lee getting the win, jumping up to 12 points in a 75. A 55 for Black Panther and Jason Lee. They don't click. It's kind of terrible. It sucks that that's the Seal Show match, but it is what it is. Unfortunately there. Lee Moriarty strains his rotator cuff in the final match of the tour. For him, that is brutal. Brutal. It's a tough match. Dante Martin outperformed by 1 point. Cooled the crowd, too. Just kind of a brutal final match for Block A after having such a great run. Oh, here we go. Get it back on track, though, with Barbaro Cavanero and El Hero del Airbender. Cavanero with a La Cavanera in 25-31. 75 from Shelley and Francesco Akira. The Border City stretch from Alex Shelley. 4 people finishing with the same amount of points. You love to see it. But it came down to Cavanero as far as what a massive win for him to make it to the finals. Huge. So that is set as far as O'Reilly and Barbaro Cavanero. It's now just the race for perfection here on this final night. We'll take a look at the standings after we run the final tour show, and or not the standings, we'll take a look at the final card, rather, once we run this final tour show. obviously now we know the finals is in fact as far as with Barbara Cavanero and Kyle O'Reilly. I kind of want it to not be the main event, but I'd kind of be cheating in a way too, because like, come on, like we gotta have that probably main event, the best Super Junior finals. That just only makes sense. But I just know that IWGP Tag Team Title match is going to be really, really good. But yeah, on to the final day here. All right, the final tour show, the quest for perfection for Kyle O'Reilly as Tsuneo Takedon was brought for Rosa's court, accused of fans pick up a share of the tab on the shared rental cars. The judge Shinsuke Nakamura found them guilty and sentenced them to pay full cost to reimburse his travel partners, as Kojima passing on microphone work to Hayato Tamura. As, obviously we want that to be the main event, and as far as O'Reilly, well, maybe not, since it's O'Reilly and SP Kento. Oh, yes, fuck it, let's have it be the main. O'Reilly's gonna win, though, so he will go unbeaten in the Best Super Juniors. Dorada will beat Fuminori Abe. Unreal. So we had Abe beat him last year. Do they have bad chemistry? Because if not, we're definitely going to give this a lot more time. No, they, okay, so perfect. Perfect. Alright, so yeah, we're going to give that way more time. Yeah, like 28 minutes. So a shocking win from Dorada over Fuminori Abe. Oh, actually, kind of looking back at it, I love Dorada. That'd be a fun way to get him over 10 points, but I think Abe should finish with 13. I think that's better, but still a good match, though, nonetheless. So Abe's going to go on to the finals to take on Robbie Eagles, junior heavyweight title matchup. As, Ishimori, Robbie Eagles. So Robbie Eagles will be beating Taiji Ishimori there. So he's going to get a win, too, going into that final match, which I think is going to go over pretty well. Hook and Black Taurus. Hook beats him in 26 minutes. How about that? We'll have it be a steal of show, though. Let's have it really, because I think a lot of people won't see it coming. Evans Park, I think Black Taurus is going to get a win here. We surprise him. Catch him off guard with that one. But yeah, Hook's going to win, and then Gulak and Yehai, obviously the Technical Masterclass matchup. Let's give it to Drew Gulak here. Unless they've had a match already. Oh, they did. Yeah, that's right, Drew won. Oh, that was a strong match. Yeah, let's give it to Gulak. He's been the man in these Technical Masterclass matches, and there's not a lot of guys that really outperform him too much. And then Alexander and Jarvis against Tyler Black and Malachi Black. What a match here for the House of Black, as Tyler Black's going to beat Corey Jarvis. So, yeah, I think it's a good little card here, though. I think it's a fun card to have to end out on the tour. We see O'Reilly compete the unbeaten streak, and yeah, it's fun, too, because, like, Abe and O'Reilly, obviously, they went the distance, so we get to see potentially how that match is going to go if O'Reilly does, in fact, win it all over Barbaro Cavanero. Or, unless Robbie Eagles beats Abe. A lot of things can still happen, obviously. But a 73 for the opener. Tyler Black, Malachi Black beating Josh Alexander and Corey Jarvis. Scott's last gift from Tyler Black over Corey Jarvis. It's a good little match to open up the show. 68 for Gulak and Yehai. Yep. Gulak for Drew Gulak. He outperformed him. It's a good call. Good call to have that go on. As the Techno Masterclass matchup. Fun steal the show match here for Black Taurus and Hook. As, Black Taurus is, he had a great run. Very, very proud of him. He's been here from day one, as far as we gave him the big kind of super push in the beginning of the Best Super Juniors. He didn't win it all, obviously, but he was beating a lot of tough guys, and to potentially be so close to making it to the finals, I think it was a good story to tell. And Ishimori, he outperforms Robbie Eagles. Tough break there for Robbie Eagles. I thought he was going to perform a lot better than he did in this Best Super Juniors, but he did not, unfortunately for him. 75 from Abe and Dorada. As Abe did outperform him, I'm glad we went with this instead. I think Abe winning makes a little bit more sense. And in the main event of 71, O'Reilly beating SB Kento, the winner, and the man who could not be beaten for 9 whole shows. Kyle O'Reilly making it to the finals. Unreal. Unfucking real. What a pair of shows. What 18 shows that was. Nobody got hurt. We had some good matches. We really didn't have any train wrecks or anything. Almost all the main events delivered but one, and that was just off of a negative chemistry. Other than that, man, we played I think, really, really well. And, man, this is, we played really, really well. We had, really, really good matches, and the guys performed really well. That's what I meant to say, as, I'm waiting forever to get this shit rolling. Hopefully, I mean, the loading times are just crazy once you get years into your save. It gets a little too much. I'm just afraid that, as far as, okay, it did. I was about, like, hopefully it doesn't crash. But yeah, I mean, as far as, one of the young lions, fine. Miyagi can have it. So the card looks like this. Of course, the finals. Barbaric Habanero, the winner of Block A, taking on Kyle O'Reilly, the winner of Block B. Tag team title matchup we talked about already. United Rage versus the Lucha Brothers. Junior heavyweight title matchup. Robbie Eagles versus Abe. Never Openweight 6-man. Tag team title matchup. House of Torture versus Blastoff. The New Japan Strong Openweight tag team title matchup of Moxley and Shota Umino against Jonathan Gresham and Daniel Makabe. Dark Order versus Kingdom of Strong Style. As the debuting Yuya Uemura, part of the Kingdom of Strong Style now. It's going to be him and Kushida and Alex Shelley and Shinsuke Nakamura taking on the Order of Destruction, Brody Lee, and Evil. So that should be fun. Koji Kamai of Okada, Yoshihashi, and Yo against Suzuki-gun of Claudio, Rex Steiner, and Akira Tozawa. Then the opener. Funny enough, this is the opener, but we need a Tactical Masterclass matchup, and I felt like this was the best case scenario. Zack Sabre Jr., Drew Gulak, and Gavin McGavin against Eddie Kingston, Kenta, and Pac. So having a good bit of Task Force Death versus United Empire matches on this show, and I kind of liked how it's spaced out. You know, they have the co-main, middle of the card, and the opener. Kind of liked how that worked out. But yeah, on to the finals we go. Alrighty, the finals in the Tokyo Dome will hopefully be a sellout. As, wow, it was an 87. The last one. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a pretty good show, though. I really do think that. It's funny, we kind of had the same idea with having Gresham and Jason Lee Junior Heavyweight title matchup. Just kind of works out that way. Backstage incidents, though. What's Fujinami? Oh, he's brightened the mood backstage by simply being so cheerful and fun to be around. And then Chris Fart was brought for Wrestler's Court. Probably doing something dumb. Oh. Well, that was weird. Just it wouldn't load. Jesus. As, yeah, we ran the Pepe-Do once. We ran Osaka Joe Hall once. Yeah, it just seems like the Tokyo Dome's just kind of the best place for it. Yeah, it's just because we know Dominion's not going to be in Kanto, so it just kind of makes sense to go with that. But Carvanero, Kyle O'Reilly wins it as the first Gaijin to win in, gosh, yeah, since Ray Fenix, so not even that long ago. But it's kind of funny. Out of our now 6 Best of Juniors, 2 of them have only been won by the native talent. The rest have been Gaijin talent. It's kind of wild. Kind of wild to think about. But yeah, I mean, this is, I think we have a pretty good list of winners, though. From Ishimori to Pac to Shelley to Ray Phoenix, Abe, and now Kyle O'Reilly. A lot of those guys are former junior heavyweight champions, and, you know, just, I think it works out that way. Besides Kyle O'Reilly, the only guy, and then he might potentially become the junior heavyweight champion. So you never know. I want to say, maybe Kyle did have a title run as junior heavyweight champion. Oh, no, he just tag champs with Bobby Fish. Oh, and also with Garcia there at the end. Well, I was thinking he didn't. I know he had a couple of title matches. I don't think he ever won it. So yeah, glad to double check that. That should be a fun main event, though. Co-main event, United Rage, Lucha Brothers, as Pentagon Jr. is going to beat Katsuya Kitamura, 28 minutes. It's a big time matchup for him, you know, for United Rage, and, you know, it's a big opportunity, but hopefully they deliver. Robbie Eagles, Fuminori Abe, as Abe will win in 27 minutes. That's a big win for Abe. So Abe O'Reilly is set for Dominion. That should be just a fun-ass match there. Very much looking forward to that. Oh, actually, I think, oh yeah, the House of Torture Blastoff match should be after it. I will leave it as this. Fuck it. Why not, right? Ibushi's going to get the win now in 22 minutes. And they retain their Never Openweight 6-man tag team titles. Yeah, I like that, though, too. It goes from multi-man singles match, multi-man singles match. I like that. And then we'll go with the Dark Order. Oh, no, not that. Not this. Yeah, John Moxley and Shota Umino, rather, against Gresham and Makabe. Yeah, that works out better. As Makabe will beat Shota Umino, they're going to retain. Then the Dark Order match against the Kingdom of Strong Style, which Calvin Tankman's going to beat Alex Shelley. Tough break there for Tankman. I didn't want to have Yui Moore to lose. I kind of want to have, we can have Kushida lose. It's tough. Tough to see Kushida lose like this, but Dark Order's just, I mean, they're such a force, just size-wise, that they can, beat guys, and it's kind of believable every time they do it, so don't really mind it. Suzuki-gun against Koji Kamai. Okada's going to beat Tozawa. I think that's kind of the best case scenario for this. The United Empire versus Task Force Death in the opener, which Kenta will be beating Gavin McGavin. What a win for Task Force Death, rather, as far as to beat not only here, but also win in the co-main as well. Just obviously Moxley and Shota Umino failed to bring home some gold, but I think it's going to be a pretty fun card, though, nonetheless. Go some post-show stuff, a little celebration in Dragon's Den, coming out to help celebrate with Kyle O'Reilly. As O'Reilly wins the Best Super Juniors. So yeah, Kyle, and we'll have Danielson and Tamura. Just all the boys. Daniel Garcia and Show. But, Brian's talking about, as far as, O'Reilly's set the trend, and now we're going to follow suit. And then, he's talking about how Never Openweight, they wanted to have potentially a Never Openweight six-man, tag team title opportunity against Blastoff, but they are much more looking forward to bringing home the junior heavyweight and heavyweight title at Dominion. So, talking about that more so than anything, but we still could have them, because, it still could be Tamura, Garcia, and Show. It just wouldn't be the same level, I think, of positive, performance-wise. But, yeah, I think that's a good call. I think more than not, But, it's a fun idea, in theory, as far as I have that. But, yeah, Tamura and Garcia and Show, they have a lot to look forward to. Tamura's been obviously heavyweight champion, and Garcia and O'Reilly, they've been junior tag team champions. Really, the only guy who hasn't won any gold is Show, unfortunately. As I will have United Empire and Task Force Death post-show press conferences. We'll go with the Task Force Death one first. So we'll go with Moxley and Shota Umino, and we'll go with Kingston. We'll go with Pentagon Jr. Red Phoenix. So obviously, as far as with Moxley, as far as he has, as far as had a great opportunity to potentially, be New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team Champions, as far as beating them, and it's a tough break, but, he's got faith in Kingston to beat Zack Sabre Jr., and that's kind of the big promo, really, from this, because it's a celebration of not only Pentagon Jr. Ray Phoenix winning, but the big thing is on Mox and Kingston cutting the promo on Zack Sabre Jr. And that's kind of the big thing with this, more than anything. And, basically, the same thing, but obviously different players now, as far as with the United Empire one. Empire, good call, as we'll have Zach. But Volter, that would just be kind of fun to have him since he's got the Hiromu match. It's already been announced, so we don't have to worry about hyping it up or anything, but we'll probably have a Road to, Dominion match between probably Naito and Hiromu against Volter and somebody, but yeah, Zach, Volter. Yeah, we'll do Makabe and Gresham, and then we'll have the unfortunate losers of the co-main event in Volter, or in Great O'Connor and Katsuki Nomura, rather. But yeah, just as far as, Zach got his promo, and as far as more than anything, as far as, should be fun. Should be fun to see. But we'll have one more, and it's going to be Suzuki-gun. And the big thing is Suzuki has made some calls. And he reveals that, listen, it's they've got their hands on the best that Japan has to offer as far as from a technical wrestling standpoint. They think in Suzuki that they have got a big get for Suzuki-gun, and he thinks that this is going to help elevate Suzuki-gun to the next level. Once Claudio, beats Okada, it's going to be, they're going to be full steam ahead towards the end of the, as far as 2025 is going to be their year type of thing. As far as with that, we'll have Claudio cut his promo on Okada, so post-show PC. Suzuki-gun, new member, is coming. Yeah, I think we'll just have it be those two. Oh, we'll have Rex and Tozawa and Gai there, but they won't cut like a promo. Alright. Oh, we'll have them into that, actually. Funny enough. I know it's kind of weird. Maybe not. Well, yeah, we'll have them be the first post-show press conference. Actually, no. I think it'd be kind of fun if Suzuki kind of tirades his way in there to the press conference room and really just cuts the promo about how, as far as getting the big coup, the big get for them. Yeah, I think that's best Super Junior finals. I think it's gonna be pretty good. We'll see. See if it lives up to what we've done in the past. And 85 to start off the show is not a bad start. As Zack Sabre Jr. and Pac delivering in a big way, so does Kenta. And so is Gulak, even. Gulak was almost in the 80s. That was actually really good stuff. Kenta with a Bosaiku knee kick after the Kenta combo, getting the win in 20 minutes. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. 61 years, Tozawa strains his rotator cuff. People just keep on getting hurt left and right. As Okada and Claudio did the exact same at 77s. But the Haiju bomb from Okada in 10:01. Sucks to see that injury. 81, though, for the 8-man of Dark Order and Kingdom of Strong Style. Huey Moore, he's got a ways to go, but, we got to start somewhere. As far as he's been around, he's got his hair grown out. He's looking like a top guy, hopefully, in the future for him. As Tankman driver from Calvin Tankman over Kushida. Dark Order, better team, gets the win. It's really no surprise. Nakamura and Kushida did really well, but obviously I think all around, Dark Order team's a little bit better thanks to Yui Mora's 54. It's an 84 from Moxley and Shota Umino against Makabe and Gresham, as the Makabe lock for Dayon Makabe getting the submission win over Shota Umino in 21-38. What a win, and that is their first defense of their New Japan Strong Boy Tag Team titles. As the next matchup, let's see if we get there. There we go, an 84 for the Never Openweight 6-man Tag Team title matchup. As the Blastoff team gets the win, as Kota Ibushi hitting the Kamagori on Brody King. Konosuke Takeshita and Kota Ibushi killing it, though, with a nice little 1-2, 90-87 rating. 68 for Endo, 77 for Jay White, and 73 for Miro, and Brody King with a 70, 68 for Endo. If he can get to their level, they'll be a hell of a trio for sure. There's a 79 for Robbie Eagles and Fuminori Abe. How about that? Robbie Eagles outperformed him. How about that? As Abe gets the win, though, with a figure 4 leg lock, getting the win 27-26. He is going into Dominion as the champion. Of course, later on, I'll find out he'll be facing Lack of Psychology here for the co-main event. It's an 80. That's unfortunate. Pentagon Jr. Ray Phoenix killed it. Katsuya Kitamura kind of dropped the ball and got the crowd hotter, though, for the main event. Let's hope it delivers. Oof. It does not. Thanks a lot, Barbaro Cavanero. As Kyle O'Reilly with the Brainbuster in 32 minutes gets the win. Just fucking brutal. That finals did not go as well as we could have hoped for, but it is brutal. Brutal. Post-show press conferences, they all do around 68, 69. 71, though. Last one, Suzuki killing it with the promo. Yeah. That went terribly wrong. As far as, we could not get the title matches rolling. We had a couple just barely outside the 85, and then the 79. Just nothing could go away. I thought the tag team title matchup could save the show, and it didn't. So just kind of, it's brutal to see. Brutal to see. Yeah, I mean, if this doesn't have an injury, maybe this show's way better at the same time, because the 61's pretty harsh. Just the injury fucked that whole match up, and it kind of fucked the whole card up, unfortunately. Yeah, it just sucks. Sucks, but that's the way she goes. Unfortunate, but it's the way she goes. We'll put over Kyle and Cavanero, even though he was off his game and he fucked us, but boy, yeah, that's one of the worst finals we'll ever see as far as the overall ratings. We haven't had a show that's lost popularity in a long-ass time, but we just had to have one here. Unfortunate. Boy. 2025, not looking up for us as far as that was pretty brutal. Pretty brutal finals. After having such a good tour, yeah, everything was working well, no injuries or anything, and then just one inadvertent, wrong time injury for the steal of the show match kind of fucked everything up a little bit, but that's the way she goes. But the Dominion is set. The card's basically set. As far as I believe, we have everything booked up, ready to go. I think we're going to have one more match to make it 9. Because right now I think we have 8 lined up. 2 non-title matchups. I want to see, we might pull some strings and have a fun debut of a title. We'll see as far as for Dominion, because I think it's finally time. It kind of depends on how Stardom's doing. But yeah, I think it kind of gives away everything. Yeah, we'll show it as far as where's we'll go to the it'd probably be, I don't think it'd be talent trades, it'd be alliances. We added the IWGP Women's title as so oh wow, they finally have a champion crowned, as it's Suleta as a luchadora. Huh. That could be fun. As yeah, I was hoping Stardom would have, I mean, she's doing pretty well, at least in Mexico. That could be fun. Yeah, have Suleta versus anybody from Stardom, really, depending on who it is. Now, as far as it would be nice to have Hayashishita. That would be particularly fun. Let's see how she's doing. Oh yeah, she's the FWA Undisputed Women's Champion. That could be a fun champions, matchup. I wonder how she's doing now, as far as ratings wise. Ooh, a 51. Goddamn. Guess that is Oz. We'll see if it's different in Stardom. Nope, 54. Hana Kimura. That would be Oz in the book. Hana Kimura, obviously. That might be the plan. Might be it. I'm liking it. Liking it. Yeah, because, who's, let's say, who's the, so the goddesses of Stardom is, Saya Kamatani and Raku. Let's see, who's the Wonder of Stardom? Arisa Hashiki, Itsuki Hashino. Huh. Yeah, Iwatani hasn't had the belt since 2022. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's, and Sarai's the Stardom High Speed Jam. Oh, who's won the, they haven't really done a Cinderella tournament. Or a fucking 5-star Grand Prix. How fun. Hana Kimura, though, future Stardom, that's, boy, that just sucks as far as that's a real, well, that's a Debbie Downer of a way to end out the episode, but now I'm just sad. As, Dominion, though, should have IWGP Women's title matchups. So that should be fun to see how that plays out. I cannot believe how bad that Best Super Juniors was, though. What was the first ever Best Super Juniors? What was that finals? Because I wonder if it was worse than that. Oh, it was. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I'm glad it was worse than that. Let's see what the second one was. 81. So yeah, the second one was better. Even though they didn't have anything that was an 85. See what 2022 was. Oh, an 89. Yeah, that was definitely the one. Yeah, that was prime. that was the prime of the save, when everybody was still relatively young and not old. 2023 is probably going to be a good one, too. So yeah, it's a 30. Oh, it's 81. Alright, Makabe didn't really deliver. Well, it makes me feel a little bit better about myself, but still, at fucking 77 is brutal. Yeah, especially with the 87 last year, and just tough. Tough. But that's the way she goes. And we'll catch you guys next time. Take care, everyone.